right. Tammy Dondorfer, animal welfare advocate at the Animal Protective League. Tim Rillahan, and he is the volunteer coordinator at the Animal Protective League there on Green Road in Kingsville. And that is, I know that you're always busy with the volunteer stuff. There's always something going on there. Always needs to have stuff going on to keep the place going and keep all the animals happy and exercised and human contact and all that kind of stuff. So I want to talk about that a little bit. Of course, this is in 2 weeks, a week from Saturday, and that is 17th. Okay, October 17th. And if this, I plan on repeating this segment, so it's October 17th. So if I say a week from Saturday, don't. If this is the repeat, then remember it's October 17th is Saturday. Is the Boo Wow Walk, and this has been going on for a long time.
Yeah, this is our 14th annual, so it's been going on for a long time. It's changed over the years.
Yeah, I was just thinking, for some reason I had forgotten, but the first one I went to was at the Western Reserve Trail.
Mm-hmm.
And they, after that year, they just ran out of room there, and that's when they went to the golf course.
Yeah, and the golf course is much better, because you know, it's like a huge loop. The Western Reserve Trail, you know, everybody would walk straight line down, turn around, come back the other way. So it's definitely more interesting for the dogs to be out on the golf course.
So kind of explain what this is all about. I talked about it a little bit earlier today, but give us an idea.
Well,
for somebody that's never been there.
It's really what comes down to, it's trick-or-treating for the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
What we do is we have 13 stops out on Maple Ridge Golf Course, and the owners will take their dogs to each stop, and we have a lot of different things we're giving out. Some are more for the humans, some are more for the pets. You know, some examples: squeaky toys, frisbees, you know, all kinds of different goodies. So by the time the walk's done, you know, your bag's going to be filled with a lot of really neat stuff.
And so that you still, how much is the fee for? Isn't there like a $25?
Yeah, yeah, $25 per dog, and big part of it too is we ask people to get pledges.
Right, that's the big part.
Yeah, that's where a lot of our you know, fundraising comes in. People, you know, ask their neighbors, ask their friends for pledges, and they bring that the day of the walk. Right. And
bring the money. Don't say so and so says they'll give $25.
No.
You got to call them. Yeah. You collect it now and have it ready, and there will be people at tables that will take your money.
Correct. Yeah. And what we always do too for the top 3, you know, pledge getters, I guess, you know, we'll have special prizes for them. So again, just a little incentive to have people go out there and try to get as much money as they can to help us out.
Do you know what prizes are yet?
Yeah, we're still kind of working on them.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're working on stuff up until that day, but yeah, but it's, you know, they're always nice, you know, prizes. This year, I think they might end up being different types of baskets, and I'm talking nice, huge baskets for probably going to be for dogs, but we're still tweaking everything.
Right. But when you do this for the APL, and like this is what, one of 2 big fundraisers?
Yeah, this and the hairball are our 2 biggest ones. Boo Wow is still definitely the biggest.
Is the hairball the one they have at the banquet center in like March or something?
Yeah, April. Yeah. Yeah, that's become our 2nd largest event. You know, but Boo Wow still, that's the one, and that's the one that really gets the people out too.
And it's not, and when we talk about dogs, and we'll get a little bit into this more, it's the dogs going around. These are people's dogs. So you out there who have a dog and you like to do things with your dog, you're the guy that goes out and walks in the park with your dog and walks them up and down the street. This is a really cool experience because you take your dog. So, you know, where they park at the, what's the church?
It's a Gateway Church.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you park at Gateway Church, and then buses come, and take you to Maple Ridge Golf Course, you and your dog, and it's fun to dress your dogs up, and they get to interact with other dogs. Yeah, we don't even need you guys. I'm just going to sit here and do this because I've been to enough.
You've been to them, yeah.
But you see how your dog acts getting on the bus, and all of them are pretty good. I've sat on with many a dog, and I've never seen a fight or anything. They get along well with the other dogs. They get off, and then the dogs get to socialize. The people get to socialize. Then you go to all of these different stations, and it's a trick or treat for you. It's for your dog. This is not for the shelter dogs. This is for your dogs, and it's like, I'm not a dog by bench. It's like a Christmas event or a big party or something like that for them.
Yeah.
So if you want to do something special with your dog and help the APL out, that's pretty.
I think that's the best part because everybody gets to show off their own animals, whether they're from our shelter, or different shelters, or anywhere that they've got their family pets, and it's great. You see all different kinds and
It's great
different
seeing
breeds.
ones that came from us
Yes.
too, that
Sure.
we remember. It's
And a lot of them you don't recognize because they've, put on weight, or they're beautiful looking, and
Do they
people like to
recognize
show
you?
'em
I
off.
bet they do.
Some do, yes. Or we recognize them probably
Yeah.
first. So
I was trying to think this morning.
yeah,
There's a lot of cool costumes, but I can't remember any of them. Do you remember some examples of what people did before? It's like like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, or different.
well,
kind of
that was my family. We did
Oh,
the
okay.
seven. Yeah, 'cause, between my brother and my parents, we had 7 dogs. So yep, they were all
I did
dressed
not
up
know
as
that.
little dwarfs. Yeah. But we've seen just about everything. I mean, and there's people that have. If I remember right, there was one that took a little pull wagon, and made it into like I guess it'd be like a Cinderella carriage, and had the little tiny dog in there dressed as a princess. So see all kinds of things.
Is there contest there?
Yeah, we do have a contest for the costumes.
Do you have judges, or is it the crowd?
Yeah, what we usually do, and every year we've done a little different, but we'll assign a couple of volunteers to kind of be the judge,
Okay.
kind of near the end of the walk. And we have several different prizes for that also. I mean, we got best overall costume, best group, best under 16. I think that's it, yeah. So.
and a lot of
It's-
people dress up too.
Oh, yeah,
Dress up
people
to
dress
match
up
their
too,
dogs.
yeah.
That fascinates me. I think it's wonderful that they do that.
Oh yeah,
Definitely some imaginative people out there.
Yes.
there is, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
They come up with some pretty neat ideas.
So it must be like people leave that and think what they're going to do next year. They're inspired what other people are doing.
Yes.
And I think that even if all of a sudden magically somebody won the lottery and gave the APL $10 million or something, I think you'd stop dreaming, Tammy. I think you would still have to have the boo wow
Oh, we
walk.
have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
so
a
many people look.
tradition.
Yeah, so many people look forward to it. I mean, again, the end of the boo wow, they're thinking about the next year's one, and oh yeah, it's huge.
So are you the one who's coordinating that too, as well as everything
Yeah,
else?
my wife also. We've been working together, and
So
yeah,
when do you start on that?
Usually, well, we start planning, like we have a boo-wow committee. We get together and start planning things probably about 2 to 3 months ahead of time, and then about a month beforehand, we really start trying to get our volunteers. But some volunteers let us know, months in advance, hey, I'm there,
Right.
I'm ready to help you out.
How many volunteers does it take?
Ideally, probably around 70.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
70 volunteers, it gives you an idea of the vastness of this thing.
Oh yeah, I mean every stop we like to have minimum of 2 people, sometimes 3 or 4, and then we have food. We're going to have a Chinese auction, and just people helping direct people to where they need to go, and then registration too. That's a lot of people are there to accept the registrations and give out the treat bags for everyone.
the dogs automatically get a treat bag. Is that?
Yeah, for every dog you bring, pay the registration fee, you get basically it's like one of those grocery bags, the reusable type, and that's what you'll take around the whole course and fill up.
And there's also food for people, correct?
Yep,
Yes.
we'll have food there. Still working that out too, but usually what we have are things like hot dogs, nachos, kind of the easy, fast type food. And then we always have a bakery table,
Right.
and that's usually it's volunteers have made those items and are letting us use them.
Now I can't remember, so I'm asking: is the food, is that part of the whole thing, or do people pay for the thing?
We just ask for donations.
Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't think that there was like hot dogs are $2 or anything like that.
No, we just ask for donations, so anything is appreciated.
And that is in cover, right?
Yes.
On
Yes.
the roof.
Mhm.
And the reason we say that is we joke every year. We should stop even mentioning it because it's poured like the last 3 or 4 years. But this year it is not going to.
No, I think we got that out of the way this
Yeah, I
past
mean, I
Saturday,
can't-
so
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
that was boo-wah weather there. So
Yes.
hopefully, yeah, it's
Exactly.
gonna be very nice.
Exactly, that's a good point. But that is always undercover, and there's usually a good turnout anyway. I would say it's a little bit better if the weather's a little nicer.
Oh yeah,
but-
definitely. Just got to be prepared. Wear good shoes, ones that you don't mind getting wet. Just in case. But
Tell me, the golf course people, they have to be pretty good about allowing all of this going on at their golf course, at
Yeah.
Maple Ridge Golf Course.
yeah, they're great, and they donate the course to us for free too, which is wonderful. And they allow us to use their golf carts to help bring things out to the course.
Oh, I know, I
and-
see the golf carts going all over.
Oh yeah, it's a major production, and they're just awesome. To donate, that to us, we can't beat it.
Yeah, they're definitely pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyway, also, if anybody has any questions about this, you can call us at 593-7181 or ask us, credit card numbers or anything. So, let's take a break. We'll talk a little bit more about the Blue Wall Walk, but volunteering in general, and then something that's going to be going on. This is pretty much for your dogs. It's going to benefit the shelter animals, but most of them are not going to be there. But there is something for the shelter animals coming up the following week, correct?
Did the reverse
Yes.
trick-or-treating,
Yes.
yes.
So I'm not trying to speak in riddles here, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. We have from the APL the volunteer coordinator, Tim Rillahan, and the animal welfare director, pretty much director of the APL, wouldn't you, Tammy Dondorfer.
Yes.
We were talking about the Boo Wah Walk, and before we leave, I know that there are also other things there, like they have, I don't know what, there's like, I remember there being somebody there that would take pictures. Are they doing that this year? Do you know?
I'm not sure if we're doing that this year.
I've seen nails, doing dog nails, and
Yeah, I'm not sure yet if we're doing that. I
we're
mean,
still a
gonna
couple weeks away, but
but we will have a lot of vendors there.
some vendors
so-
are like, they're not getting anything to do with dogs. It might be like a
Oh yeah,
siding or
Yes.
jewelry
Oh, yeah.
or whatever.
yeah, and we're still, accepting vendors also. So if somebody wants to, come out and sell their items, we're happy to have them.
I mean, there's a lot of people there, so I mean that's a good venue, even if it's a non-dog. If it is a dog thing, if you walk dogs or whatever, you want to have a booth there and talk about it or pass out literature. But they have for anything else. So how do they get in touch with you if they're?
Best thing to do is actually go to our website.
Okay.
And we have all the forms for not only registration for the dog walk, but also for the vendors.
Yes.
Or if somebody wants to be a sponsor, we're always looking for sponsors also. And all the forms can be found on our website.
Okay, so acapl.org.
Yes.
That's where you're going to find all of this stuff. And if you forget the date or the time, was it noon?
Registration starts at noon. The walk starts at 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not like a whole day thing. The Monday after here, I want anybody who went there and whose dog didn't sleep the rest of the day to call me.
That is so true.
My dog sleeps while I'm there, so he actually lays down and falls asleep.
But yeah, it's a big thing. And when my dog was alive, Casey, she had a great time. And then when she wasn't doing so good, we put her in a stroller and took her. And I've got this picture with like 5 or 6 other dogs all around her, and Casey's like got her nose down at him. It's like I don't know, like she's the queen and everybody else is around her. That was a good picture. That's a good memory. But so yeah, all kinds of dogs, all kinds of sizes, all kinds of costumes. You don't actually have to. It's kind of fun, but if you just want to go and walk, you can do that.
Definitely,
Yes.
definitely. And we'll have some other stuff there too. We are going to have a Chinese auction. We always do 50-50 raffle there, and we'll also have our merchandise for sale.
Yes.
T-shirts, hoodies. We'll actually the Boo Wow shirts. Those you had to have your registration in by October 1st
Okay.
to be guaranteed a shirt, but we will have some there for sale. So if you're sending in your registration now, you can still purchase a 14th annual Boo Wow T-shirt.
And how much are they?
Those are 15, I
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what other kind of merchandise is there?
Well, it's mainly clothing.
Right.
We have short sleeve shirts, we have long sleeve, we have some different hoodies. And we'll have, I hate to say it, but this year we will also have rain jackets for sale just in case.
So that's pretty much going to guarantee that it is not going to
I
rain.
hope so. That's the plan.
But if you go to the Animal Protective League there on Green Road in Kingsville, they do have different clothing and stuff. So that's what you're going to be seeing there. And then, is it the following Thursday?
Yes.
Is the reverse trick or treat, and that's at the APL. And what I mentioned before, that this is pretty much for your dog. People out there who have dogs, you will have a few dogs at the Boo Wow Walk
Yes.
for people.
Yes,
to
we
see
will.
if you can get them adopted.
We will actually do adoptions on site there too. So we'll bring all the paperwork and walk them around. And we've done some adoptions
Yeah.
in the past. And they get to usually meet the other people's dogs because they have them there. So it's a great thing.
That's a good thing. That when you have somebody that wants to get a dog there, you always have them. If they already have a dog, they have to bring it.
Yes.
And
To do a meet and greet just to make sure everything works out. Yes.
So there will be some dogs there, but there will be 100 dogs not there, or whatever, still at the APL.
Correct.
So they have to have something for them. So you've come up with the reverse trick or treat, and that is on the 22nd from, what is it?
1 to 8.
1 to 8, yes.
Okay, so explain what that's all about.
That's what we do is cats, dogs, everybody in the shelter, they each get a bucket on their cage, and people can bring their children. I think it's great for the children to come, and they're actually able to give our animals treats. So it helps them learn, because the kids like to go around and
Right.
get candy, and now they can go back and help the animals get treats.
So anytime during that, you can bring your own doggy treats or cat treats.
Yes, you can bring toys, treats, canned items. Dog food. We'll take, anything that somebody, even if it's towels, blankets. But it's really fun. We have a lot of goodies. People end up volunteers. We have a lot of volunteers. People bring baked goods. So, we usually have like a whole table of cupcakes, cookies, apple cider, juice, all kinds of things.
That's for the people that come to trick or treat.
Yes.
Yep.
So, they can pass around their treats to everybody, have a few cookies and mingle and have a good time. And we'll have dogs out and, people can go in the petting room and pet the cats, and so it's a good time.
And you also adopt out some animals then too?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Talk about a little bit about all the dogs that leave the shelter. I know that they're all neutered. But also they're all chipped now too, right?
Yes.
The chip on them, you guys do that there?
Yes, we do. This way, if they do come, I mean, if they by chance get away, most all vets' offices and shelters do scan for a microchip. I do like to remind people that the dog license is the Ohio state law. That is your #1 guarantee of, returning the animal.
If he's got his collar on.
Correct. And a microchip, it only works if you keep your information updated. We run into this.
I used to have that dog, but I gave it away.
Correct. And we run into, that the dog was passed around 5 different times and nobody's updated, so it'll go way back to original owner. And I mean, it doesn't help to return the animal if the information isn't updated.
So how do they update it?
It depends on what type of microchip. We have 24-hour pet watch. Once you're registered with that, then it's your responsibility later on if you move or your phone number changes to contact them. We always have, there's a 1-800 number, but we still get dogs in that have avid microchips, home again, and you have to, contact that company.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I tell people too, you should always take your new animal, whether you get it from somebody, that you take it, have it scanned, just to double check.
Right. And you do, if somebody has an animal that did not come from the APL, you can do the microchipping there.
Yes, we can. We do charge $30 to microchip at the shelter.
And it doesn't hurt. Or does it? It hurts.
Well, it depends on who you're going to ask. I mean, some dogs, yes, but, I guess it would be like piercing your ears.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So most of them do very well. But you have some before you even touch them. They're already crying.
Well, they're all nervous and
yes,
everything.
correct. Yeah.
So yeah, that's
worth a little pinch.
Yes.
Oh,
To
absolutely.
guarantee that dog getting home.
Right. And I know that you go through a screening process to try to make sure that you're going to get the right family for the right dog, and that they're not going to start passing them around and all that. So
Correct.
can you kind of, if you want to, I don't know that when you were here before, if we really got into this, but if you are going there and you want to adopt a dog, what's the process and that you go through to make sure that it's...
Our application is a lot more thorough than it used to be. It's actually 2 pages now. So, we ask several questions on there, and that helps us better place the right animal with the right family. And we do have the right to deny. We want to make sure, you wouldn't want somebody who has a very quiet household that wants to take a dog that never sits down.
Right.
Or they're not going to be able to run it, or, things like that. It is a lot more, the process can go a lot faster if people bring vet records. Definitely bring their animals up if they want to do a meet and greet. So if you have, 3 dogs, 2 dogs, 1 dog, that you bring those up to the shelter. And our staff is trained to do meet and greet. So while you have your animal up there, if one doesn't work out, we can try several different ones. We always have a huge variety to choose from.
Right, I know that, yeah.
We do want all of our animals to live indoors and be part of a family, whether it's a cat or a dog. That they do see a veterinarian regularly, and part of your family. That's the biggest part.
It's, Aunt Ethel comes to visit, you're not going to say, okay, Aunt Ethel, that house out there across the field is going to be yours, and we got a nice bowl and some clean water for
Correct.
you. You don't do that. So
Those times have changed.
Yeah.
It's come a long way since then, and the thing is with that too, that they do get, people forget about them.
Sure.
They put them 500 feet away from the house.
The only people that remember them are the neighbors next
Correct.
door that hear them barking.
And once they get out there on the chain, then they're too dirty, then they start jumping, and then they become unruly, and we see it every day. A lot of the animals that we get from Ashtabula County are outdoor animals that don't, they've never been exposed to listening to a vacuum cleaner or a washer, dryer, and they need to be part of the family.
Right. What was I going to say about that? I don't know. But yeah, you're right. And it was I guess what I was going to say is that when growing up, we always had indoor animals, and my mother always said, why would anybody get a dog or a cat, especially when sometimes you're paying more than $100 for them, and then have them sit outside.
A lot of people say that they use them, to ward off strangers or things like that, and I'm thinking, how can they do that?
They're on a chain.
When they're on a chain and they're 500 feet behind the house. I mean, you'd want them to protect your family and, alert you if somebody's coming, and they can't do that when they're all the way.
But if they're watching the front door, that
Yes.
that makes a whole lot more sense.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know why anybody would get a dog and then leave it outside. And the dog isn't going to be. A lot of these dogs have had some tough times. They're not going to come in and put a napkin down and
They're
sit
not
there
gonna
waiting
be
for
perfect,
dinner. No.
No.
But a little patience. And what was the dog I took out? There was a dog I took out Friday for a run, and he looked a little like, I don't know if I want to take him, but I had some. But you got him out of the cage.
That was Charla.
Charla. So Charla was in her tail's between her legs. So I run her up to Route 20, and she's like all nervous and looking at me like, who are you? So I sat down on the ground right there at Green Road, Route 20. I sat down with her, and I started petting her, and I started petting her, and I scratched her and all this stuff. All of a sudden, Charla rolls over to have her belly rubbed. So this is a dog scared to death, tail between her legs, and all it took was we did a mile run, we stopped, and then she wanted her belly rubbed. So sometimes it isn't that much.
We do try to always let people know, cage behavior is completely different than getting them out. It's just a behavior that they develop while they're there of, so many people walking by the cages. And she can look scary inside of her cage. I've seen her. But she is a wonderful, wonderful dog. She listens well, and I said just a little bit of that time, I mean, she changed completely. So
imagine being in a home, with people and
Yes.
and all, how much different it's going to be. So it's something to think about. You're going to have a little patience if you get a dog, no matter where. We want to take one more break and then maybe talk a little bit about volunteerism and kind of restate what's going on with the Boo Wow Walk, and we'll do that in just a minute. All right, we have Tim Rillahan and Tammy Dondorfer from the Animal Protective League, and we were talking about the reverse trick-or-treat, and we were talking about the Boo Wow Walk, and you mentioned, what was it, you have like 70 volunteers you need for the Boo Wow? Is that what you said?
Yeah, right around there. I mean, ideally, that's what we need.
But you need volunteers all the time. So as a volunteer coordinator, this would be a good time to just talk about what kind of volunteers you need and what for.
Well, we need them, first of all, we just like people to come out and just interact with the cats and the dogs, take them for walks. So that is a big part of volunteering if that's something you want to do. But a huge part of it is also fundraising. Things like the Boo Wow, the Hairball in April, we need people to help with those events.
You get the spaghetti dinners?
Spaghetti dinners, yep, those we need volunteers. So a lot of it is also fundraising. Anything anybody can do to help us, raise funds, we need you. Also, different adoption events, like this coming Saturday, we're going to be at Menor PetSmart. We'll take, I don't know if we know how many yet, but several dogs,
depending
possibly
on
cats.
how many volunteers we get.
That's just what I was going to ask, is that you can potentially get more animals to PetSmart and get more adopted out if you have the volunteers to do it.
Correct, yeah, because we need those volunteers there to help take the dogs out for breaks. Also talk to customers, if there's interest in a dog, kind of let the customer know, all about that animal. Maybe take them out with the new person, see how they interact. And then we actually do adoptions there too. And, we need people to help with
Sure.
those, just doing the adoptions. So there's always a ton of things that can be done, and that includes just at the shelter doing other things like
Yes.
washing dishes,
Right.
Laundry.
Sure.
Not the
Glamorous
most
stuff.
glamorous stuff. Yeah.
Cleaning cages, cleaning dogs.
I don't think people realize how much laundry
Oh, yeah, it's
until they actually come in and just have never realized that washer and dryer, and we have several,
Right.
go from the time the staff gets there to the time the staff leaves. It is never ending, never.
Which is also a reason, like, your old towels and blankets and stuff are
Yes.
good to have.
Yes. Yeah, because every cage kennel, they're going to have a blanket or something
Right.
to lay on, and if they soil them, well, we give them a new one. But yeah, that's a lot of laundry. And when the staff has to take that time to do those things, that's time away from interacting with the animals. So if we have volunteers helping with doing dishes and laundry, it makes it a better place for everyone.
And it's helping with socialize the
Oh,
animals.
definitely.
The cats and the dogs, and like I mentioned a few times, I'll have quality to the cages with them as people walk by. You probably think this is one ugly hairless dog here, but petting the dogs, and imagine, especially if you've been in a home and older or something, all of a sudden you're in this loud place with different smells and stuff, and
Yes.
how scary it's got to be and everything.
And we try to, we try to give the beds and the blankets and thick comfort. I mean, if a dog is older, they get a thick comforter. We try to do whatever we can, and especially, some come in, they're happy as all get out.
Yeah.
They go to the back, they're still wagging. They handle it very well, and there's others that don't, and we try to do everything for them to make it comfortable, because I couldn't imagine what it would be like.
Yeah, the way some people treat animals is just, I kind of put myself in the animal's place, and apparently they do not. They think of them as some kind of an inanimate object, like a iPad or a pencil or something. I don't know.
Yes.
And
the economy has been,
right.
very hard in the last few years. We have seen, a huge increase in owner surrenders in the last couple of years. A huge increase, due to people losing their homes and not being able to take their animals with them. And it's sad. It's sad for the people. It's sad for the animals.
Yeah.
And, but that's what we're there for. We're there to help the animals and make that transition easy for the people. And, sometimes things happen.
Yeah. Last time you were on, you talked about the Clear the Shelter. What was it called? Something.
Yeah, the Clear the Shelter event. Yeah.
So how did that go?
Awesome.
Was it
28 or
Yes.
29 adoptions, I believe, right around there. Then we had some pending animals that still needed to get spayed or neutered. We had like 8 or 9
Yes.
of those, I think. So
It was huge.
yeah.
Now compare that, because you've told me this before, but like the average day, how many animals you get and how many animals are adopted versus how many animals that come in.
Well, currently right now, the intake is definitely a lot higher than what is getting adopted. So again, we go through periods of times. That's why we run the specials. We go to PetSmart.
Right.
PetSmart is a real big event for us. We seem to do pretty well. The last couple I haven't done as well, but it might be again due to weather and things like that. But I'm trying to think on an average. 2,
Yeah.
3,
Maybe 2 to
maybe.
3.
That are adopted.
If you're going to average it out, yes.
And then you can maybe get a dozen in.
Yes.
It can happen.
So when you're talking about
Depends.
why are these people having all these events and why are they having all these fundraisers and why are they in here talking about it? You got 2 dogs being adopted. You got 12 dogs coming in. Each one is with shots and medications, and
They're gonna be spayed and
neutered and wormed. And how much is that per animal then, money wise?
Our adoption fee does not cover the amount, and especially the length of stay that they're there. Once that stay goes beyond the 3 days and they become ours and we spay and neuter, you know, that money already starts to
Right.
add up. So again, you know, trying to do the specials, when we do specials, we do lose money. But when they stay there, you also
Right.
lose money.
So
it's
you're spending hundreds of dollars on these animals.
correct.
And you are adopting them out for $100 and some dollars. And that's 10 or 12 new dogs coming in, and you're getting money from for those 2 dogs if there isn't a special, you know, or if it isn't like half price because the dog's older than such and such, or it's been in so long, and that sort of thing. So
There's
you can
still-
see
yes.
where the money.
There's a lot of people that still do not understand, you know, how the shelter works, and even that where we're located or ever been there. And I always say, you know, you have to come and get involved, volunteer, just come out for a day, and you would really see what takes place and how many homeless animals there are.
I mean, there are some places that just take the dogs after 3 days. They kill them. They
Yes.
don't really do anything but house them for 3 days.
Correct.
And then they dispose of them. And so yeah, that might be a little cheaper, but you have a dog that's already has been medicated and had shots and everything, and so you're getting a bargain there if you ever had a dog taken to a vet to
Yes.
have.
Oh, yes, yes.
So, and I don't know if I would want to. I volunteer there. I don't volunteer as much as I should, or I have. I was there Friday, I think. I wasn't there Saturday because it was pouring down rain. But I don't know if I could volunteer in a place where all of the animals are going to be 3 days later. It's just like
Yeah,
a death. That's just you do the
I-
volunteering.
Yeah, I couldn't
I'm a
do it.
mere
I couldn't
peon
do it.
compared to you.
No, I couldn't do it. I mean, that's why, you know, sometimes you walk through in our lobby and there's cages of animals. I mean, you know, you know, we'll make a spot for them, you know. But yeah, I couldn't do this at a shelter that, you know, euthanized after 3 days or, yeah.
That's why we all work so hard. Everybody works extremely hard. We want everybody to live, get their chance. You know, and again, a dog or a cat can act, you know, very differently in 3 days. You have to give them that chance to come around, and it takes longer than 3 days. A lot of shelters don't give them that
Yeah.
chance. We do.
You have a pig, or do you get?
We do. He was she was a stray running down the middle of the road. So she is staying with us right now. Her stray hold is up, but there's nobody else, you know,
Right.
in Ashtabula County. We don't want to start taking in pot-bellied pigs, but we've had a few, and
You got
again,
a rabbit too.
the rabbit did go to a rescue.
Oh, okay.
But we're finding more and more of, you know, a lot of rabbits needing homes, and I think that people take them on and they don't know what to do with them. And I'm not sure, I'm sure that there's maybe, I think Edgewood Pet Center in Ashtabula takes them, I'm not sure. But again, when people are looking for help, what are you supposed to do? Because they'll either just set them free. We did have one person say they were going to make rabbit stew. So we did take the rabbit. So we've had pretty good luck actually placing everybody.
Yeah.
But again, rabbits need to be spayed and neutered. You know, people don't realize you have to do your homework. Just like when you pick a breed of an animal, do your homework first. Make sure
Or
it's
you-
something that you want.
Or you buy a car. Can I afford to wash it? Change the oil,
Correct.
tune it up,
Yes.
get tires. I mean, it's the responsibilities all the way along. Okay, let's wrap up. Tell us the day again. It is the 17th. Is the Boo Wow Walk, and
Yep, and the walk starts at 1, registration begins at noon. But you'll park at Gateway Church and we'll bus you on over and
to Maple Ridge Golf
to Maple
Course.
Ridge Golf Course, yes.
And to find out about the costs and how you can, the sponsors and all that, you can go to acapl.org. Or if you want to know how to volunteer, and all of that kind of stuff. And what animals are there? If you're looking for a specific kind of animal, you can see the list of animals, pictures, and little descriptions of them. Sometimes when I shoot the videos of the animals, they're not complete on their cage doors. I go there and I find out more information about the animals.
Right.
So there's, and then you have the reverse trick or treat, and that's the 22nd.
Yes, Thursday the 22nd from 1 to 8.
So the Boo Wall Walk, that's for you to take your animals and give them a good time. And then you go on the 22nd to the APL on Green Road there, cross some Happy Hearts and bring some treats and all, and you and your kids can have the joy of sharing with the animals, putting a little treat in each one of their buckets.
Yes.
All right, I finished talking. How about you? All right, Tim Rillahan and Tammy Dondorfer from the Ashtabula County Animal Protective League. The volunteer coordinator, a huge job, because I see all your posts and all that. It's a very busy job. And I know that as the animal welfare director, you're always...
She's got the busy job.
Yeah. And then I'm over there, can you help me get this dog out of the cage? So, ACAPL, keep that in mind. We'll be back.